Okay, so every decade is full of regrettable fashion choices. Looking back on some of these literally feels like when you look back on the 80s or watch a movie and you're like, literally what? Like why did people wear that? Like people really wore that? That was real. What we think is cringy now probably won't be cringy in 15 years or so. And what's in right now and what's on trend will probably be like literally disgusting in 5 or 10 years from now. I mean, look at Crocs. Don't call it a comeback. It was literally a comeback. They came back. Those chunky running sneakers like the Balenciagas or the New Balances, like things that look like that. Low waist pants. The way I literally used to gag when my mom wore low waist pants, I was like, what are you doing? It's 2012. Get you some of these. Like, what are you doing? And trucker hats, and this is just the beginning. And I think there's a lot of stuff that I grew up with that we've forgotten about it, and I really need to go through this. Let's start off strong with Disney Channel fashion. Disney Channel fashion, that Justice fashion, that Limited Too. This fit was a complete banger. Do not mess with her. It was the introduction of the legging. People wore the leggings under like a skirt or under a dress, and it was just supposed to give you like that layering effect. But then people just stopped wearing them like with stuff on top, and they just wore them as pants. And then that's how we like transitioned into that like 2017 like leggings fashion, tight fitting. Like that's how we got into that. I remember people used to wear just leggings at school and they would get dress coded. You weren't allowed to do that because they like weren't pants. They considered them like an undergarment. And looking back on it, they were extremely thin. They were not like the yoga pants and stuff that we had today. They were very, very thin. Unless you had these. If you were rich and you had these, and I'm sorry. But just all in all, that like multiple layering look, like that skirt with scarves and vests and like kind of putting everything that you can find on top of each other was just it. And like what did they do to Lily here? Why was she wearing that? Like was she not good on set and they like punished her and made her wear that? Because what is that, first of all? And then you look at like what kids are wearing now, and it's nothing like that. Like they are not bold. They do not try. They'll wear like these basic t-shirts and these basic clothes. There's a reason why we are the way that we are in this generation. Speaking of like how kids used to dress, do you remember that time when people were dressing their toddlers like adults and getting like a ton of backlash online? It was like these Fashion Nova babies models. I don't know what this time was, but like I really had to bring that to light because that was a time as well. So cringe. Now this room, this dress, this aesthetic. If you owned this aesthetic, if you were this person, your parents loved you. If you had a room like this, your mom and dad loved you. And they didn't care how it would affect you. They didn't care if it came off a little bit slutty. They did not care. Now, I wasn't one of these girls, but I knew them. And if you were one of these girls, drop a comment. I want to see how you're doing. I hope you're doing well. But just know, like, this was a time. This was very real. And it's not even that bad. Like, come on. It's not that bad. Huge platform heels, and there's a lot of shoes that I'm gonna go through in this little video, whatever, but these like platform like stilettos, like really, really high thin heel with like a very thick bottom. Who is wearing that now? Nobody. I remember seeing them and I was like, I cannot wait to wear those when I get older. But I was like too young at that time. I was probably like 7th grade and it just like wasn't appropriate then, obviously. This reminds me of like the Jersey Shore time and like that age of adult. So it's like somebody that graduated high school in like 2009 and like they were taking their first legal drinks at like 2012, like party rock time. Like this was that girl. And I know them as well, and they are doing well, and they're actually like strangely proud to be from this time. Like they consider themselves like warriors of an era. So that was that, and they always paired it with like a pencil skirt and like a huge belt, and that was the vibe. Like that was the vibe. That was her. And if you were her, I love you and congratulations. You're a real one. Okay, so next is wedge sneakers. There's a lot of shoes because we were just very bold with shoes in this time. I don't know what it was. And also like a lot of Jordans and stuff were really popular, but that's not like cringy. Like Jordans are still popular and they're cute, so that's fine. But like these wedged platform like heeled sneakers, I remember Michael Kors made a pair. I remember they were popping, like celebrities were wearing that. I don't know if this was like some sort of like feminism, like takes charge message that they were trying to send, but yeah, never had them. But I don't know what that was. Crackle nail polish. Basically, if you don't know how crackle nail polish works, you put your regular color on the bottom and then you buy the crackle nail polish that you put on top, and it was scientifically created in a very specific way that when you put it on top, it created like this crackly effect. And it was so cool and it was so edgy. Everyone was doing it. It was like, what a time to be alive. I can hear the Kesha in my head, like I can like feel it. What a time. Now these nails, on the other hand, I don't feel so great about. Something about this just screams, what can I say, like adult film industry. Don't ask me how it makes sense. It just makes sense. I don't know who allowed this to go on so long. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a French tip. It's so cute and it's so classy, but not this type of French tip. It was like this combination of like the very short with the very square with the very sharp edges that is not acceptable. Like, I don't know, it's very uncomfortable, and I don't know who allowed this for so long. This is so cringy and so tacky to me. Okay, so this one's a little embarrassing because I really wanted these. I didn't get them though. They were pretty expensive. They were like $250, and like for a 14-year-old, you're not getting $250 shoes. I was like one bad day from being an emo girl. I wanted these so bad. I don't know why I wanted them so bad. They were like so Tumblr and so like stylish and like a little bit emo but not too emo. I had completely erased these from my brain. Like, I didn't remember these at all. I love boobies bracelets. So this was like a silicone bracelet, and it was like a very thick rubber silicone bracelet that said I heart boobies on it. And it was originally for breast cancer awareness, but obviously let like 14-15-year-old boys see that in a store, and also they were super cheap. They were like $1, and the money went to like breast cancer awareness donation. Yeah, they saw this and they were like, yeah, boobies, I love boobies, and people would stack them up. It was kind of like a skater Tilly's vibe, but definitely an aesthetic of the time. Definitely like an oddly specific trend and aesthetic. Next is like Rue 21, Charlotte Russe, Mad Rag. These were the origin places of fast fashion. Before Shein came and swooped them as the middlemen, these people were there, and this is where we got our cheap little clothes. And this was the home to like those rose prints, these floral prints that were everywhere, those Aztec prints, and also a lot of like the sheer clothing that people were wearing. This is where we got them, and they were even cheaper than like H&M or Forever 21. They were like the origin places. They didn't play. And if you know these shoes, everyone had them. It was like the go-to, like most cheap, disgusting shoe I ever seen in my life. I definitely had them. Definitely like a time. Obviously, I could go on and on with like these oddly specific fashion trends that like jog my memory or that I remember seeing, but just because I can't get to all of them doesn't mean I don't have a few honorable mentions, those being the shutter shades, the mustaches, any type of mustache like merch, and owls. I don't know where that came from. Maybe it was some like Drake influence before he really adopted the OVO owl. I'm not really sure. Owls were really like on everything. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Obviously I chose a few trends that really stuck out to me. If you have some that you remember or something that this might have jogged your memory about, let me know in the comments. I would love to see like what you guys remember from like the late 2000s, early 2010s that like give you like some sort of Tumblr nostalgia or whatever your vibe was at the time. So yeah, thank you for watching.